Hey everyone, Brian here. I wanted to come back with another video, a little update video, a new project that I want to show you guys, as well as just general about my car since I didn't cover that in the last video. So let's get to it. So first off, I guess I'll just do a little rundown of everything I have on the car. I'll just start from front to back. So I guess the first thing I would say is this GT Performance Pack Level 2 front splitter. It is the Ford OEM part. A little difficult getting that in there, but there are guides out there to help you. I guess the next thing is the full front is covered in PPF. I had that done by Aesthetic Auto Spa in Tucson. Continuing back, we also have the Performance Pack Level 2 wheels on all four corners. Nothing on the side skirts or anything. I do have the Diode Dynamics quarter panel lights here. It does have Diode Dynamic sequencers and the fourth brake light down here. And that's one mod I want to talk about a little bit more in detail. My favorite thing would probably be the Anderson Composites GT350 or 500 style spoiler here with the gurney flap attachment. That's kind of the biggest thing that I like about this. The car is lowered on 1-inch Steeda springs all around. It has a Roush H-pipe currently and a JLT air oil separator inside. As for interior mods, if you can't guess, the car is for sale. That's why I got some signs here. But for the interior, I do have my interior set that I did, the lights from the last video. I also have these, they are 3D printed metal. They're like GT500 style shifter paddles. I'll try and find the company and link it in the description, but they are 3D printed metal. Nice little click on them, a little bit bigger than the plastic ones that came with the car. Some other things, I guess, would be a little radar detector that I have plugged back into the rear side of the mirror, and my dash cam setup. It's a Viofo setup with the rear and the front camera. One other thing would be the wireless Apple CarPlay, which is just by this dongle here by CarPlay. Yeah, CPlay to Air. I think the company is called CarPlay to Air, but everything that I have, I guess I'll link down in the description below. But I want to show you one major mod that I want to talk about, which is the fourth brake light by Diode Dynamics. So the Diode Dynamics rear fourth brake light ties into, it's a harness you get. It ties into this side. You have to run it under and over to this side. However, I kind of, in my way, I've edited it, and I have added this, what I'm calling my Flashbox V4. This is the fourth version I'm on. But this ties into the output signal from the little module that's behind here and behind the subwoofer. And I just kind of edit it here. I have here a couple modes. I can go a solid brake light, I can turn it off, and I can have it flash. So, and when I say it flashes, I'm having this rear brake light flash when the brakes are applied. So let me hop in the car and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, now I'm back inside. I want to show you guys a little more in detail what I've got going on with lid V4, Flashbox V4. So I'll get into it and I'll break into it and show you guys more, and then we'll have to go to the little circuit diagrams, but you know, what are you gonna do? So let me break it open here. So this is my Flashbox V4. Like I said, I have this selector switch where I can select from solid, off, in the flash mode. And the flash is, it's changeable in both duration and speed. I have little lights here. This was just me troubleshooting, just so I could see what the car is doing and then what signal I'm getting on the actual brake light itself. It just connects by one of these standard kind of 6-pin. I'm only using 4 of them. Automotive style connectors you can buy off Amazon. But let me show you inside. It's relatively simple, but let's get into that. So inside, again, relatively simple. All I have is the connections coming from the car. I just made a little breadboard here just to make everything easier. The selector switch to select which mode we want, and the flashing module itself. And these 2 screws, if you can see them down in there, those yellow guys, you can spin them left or right, counterclockwise, clockwise, and you can change the speed and the duration of the flash. I'm trying to make this all into one little circuit in here, so it would be a lot smaller, just maybe the size of, this is the biggest piece, I guess, just because it's super tall and wide. But that's all we got going on inside. It's pretty simple, just a few connections, LEDs, but I'll show you on the circuits. It's not too bad. If you want to do this yourself, or if you want to ask me for help, you're more than welcome. Okay, so to the circuits, I just want to show, it's pretty simple, but I want to explain it a little bit in more detail. So jumping into here, what we can see is we have our selector switch right here. That's this gray switch we were talking about earlier. We would switch from solid to off to flashing. So that's this guy right here in the middle. This is our little flasher, and here's our LEDs. And just picture all of this is that little breadboard I had up in the corner. So let me show what's going on here. Say we have 2 circuits, right? One for solid, one for flashing. We'll call the solid one blue. So when we get the brake signal, it comes in on this wire in, passes through here. It is going to go to the flasher, but we're not going to use it. We're going to bring it off into our selector switch. And in this case, our selector switch will be in this position. And we'll be able to complete that circuit, and it'll flow through and out to the brake light and give us a solid light. Now, the other way we're gonna have this, so when we're set up in flashing mode. And when we're in flashing mode, our selector switch here is gonna go to this circuit down here, and we're gonna be red flashing mode. Again, our signal is gonna come in. It's still gonna run here, but we have it disconnected, so that doesn't matter. It's gonna come into the flasher, come out the flasher, go through the circuit, and out. And that's kind of all it does. It's pretty simple. We just kind of move the position of our little separator here. Here's solid, off, flash. And then just some other stuff. We have our ground down here going from here all the way out. That's one signal I'm tapped into. Then the in and the out of our brake. I say V4 because I want to scroll up through this and I want to show you guys how many takes it got. And this might be embarrassing, but I just want to show why we're at V4. So this was supposed to be it. Well, actually this is it. I just drew it a little more simple, just so it's a little less confusing for everyone instead of my scrambleness up in my brain. This was another one. We had a couple actual relays in here, voltage modulators. Here's another one where I was almost there, so close, but I kind of had the input and output of the flashing module kind of tied together, and I blew up a couple of those. So we've been through a bunch. Here's another one with a lot more going on. Again, some relays, some tie, all kinds of trash. Here was the first version of the flash box. This was the circuit in here. It didn't work. The voltage that we're trying to take, it doesn't really output a steady current. I think it might be AC in the car. I have no idea. Just some stuff I was going through. Here's me making the box. Here's our little circuit board we made. Here's me sketching the board. Lights, more circuits, more random stuff. Here's the wiring harness that I did make. I did have to purchase both these connectors and make this wiring harness so that all the brake signals still go through, but I'm taking off a couple of these This here, this purple and this purple pink is the brake signal from the Diode Dynamics 4th brake light module that I just cut. I cut the wire, and then here's the input, here's the output, and that was kind of it. Here's the first try. Anyway, you get the idea. There's a lot going on to get to this point. Here I am, May 10th, 2022. But if you want to buy these connectors, here's these connectors if you want to make that harness yourself. And here's the Deutsch 6-pin black flange connector set that I used. That's kind of it. If you guys do have questions on it, or you want me to send you the file for this box, I guess I can print it and send it, or make the whole thing and send it to you guys. You will have to make the harness though. If you do want to make the harness at home, it's pretty simple. All you need is the connector that you're going to want to use. This side goes to the flash box here. You're just going to need to run 3 wires. One's going to be your ground. Tie that to any ground spot. You're going to have an in and an out. The in is going to run to your Diode Dynamics box. This is the wire that runs from the Diode Dynamics box to the tail light. All I did was cut it halfway. I tied my in that goes to the diode, and then the out that goes to the light. That's it. But again, many people keep DMing me on Instagram from the last video on the lights. You're welcome to do that. It's the same name. Just send me a message and I'll try and help the best that I can. And hopefully we can get it worked out for you. Another thing I do want to talk about is the lighting kit from the last video. I'm trying to make it a actual kit with connectors and everything nice. You just plug and play it. I don't have an ETA on that. It's difficult sourcing Ford style connectors. They're like 20, 30 bucks each. And I don't think, that's gonna make this thing pretty expensive if I make it. So I want to see if I can buy them in bulk or something. And remember how I talked about the LED being flipped? That's another thing that I know people don't really want to do. So I might just sell it as a kit. But again, this is not my full-time job, so I'll see what I can do. But as for a video, I think this is all I wanted to cover. Just what I have going on in the car, this flash mod, and just some info on hopefully making a kit. But if any of you guys are looking for a 2020 Mustang, mine is for sale. I do have some news on that, but I don't want to spoil anything. So I need to get rid of the car. So if anyone wants to buy it, you get all these mods for free and without the hassle of doing it. So again, if you guys want to hit me up for that, you're welcome to as well. I do have financing available. So again, thanks guys for watching. I'll try and come back with another crazy mod that you have to do a bunch of crap circuits for. So thanks guys.
Here and now is the place to find